Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Priyanshi, and first of all I'm really sorry for not posting for a while because we have moved houses. So it's been a week since we have moved and everything is just so scattered right now and nothing is in its place. You know how moving works. So that's why I couldn't film any video, but today I decided to just sit down and open my book boxes and film some videos. So yeah, thank you for your patience, and thank you for showing so much love to my previous video, and it just motivated me so much, and I loved reading your comments and all the suggestions you have given me. I would love to read more of these comments in this video too, so please show your love to this video also. So let's get into this video right away. Okay, so today we are going to do some fake dating romance book recommendations, and the first one in the recommendations is The Spanish Love Deception by Alina Armas. So I really enjoyed this book. Actually, this one is the first ever book I have read when I started reading books. Not first ever, it's actually like second or third book. First book is something else, we will talk about it in another video. So in this book we have Catalina and Aaron Blackford and Catalina Martin. So they both are also enemies. Actually we can say that they इनकी ज़्यादा बनती नहीं है. So they both work in the same office and they are not so friendly. So when Catalina needed to go to her sister's wedding with her ex, she needed someone to go with her and pretend like she is also in a relationship so that she gets to maintain her image in front of her family. So they both just do this mirage or to do a fake dating. So let me read it for you. Catalina Martin, finally not single, her family is happy to announce that she will bring her American boyfriend to her sister's wedding. Everyone is invited to come and witness the most magical event of the year. That would certainly be tomorrow's headline in the local newspaper of the small Spanish town I came from, or the epitaph on my tombstone. Seeing the turn of my life had taken in the span of a phone call. 4 weeks wasn't a lot of time to find someone willing to cross the Atlantic from NYC and all the way to Spain for a wedding, let alone someone eager to play along my charade. But that didn't mean I was desperate enough to bring the 6'4" blue-eyed pain in my ass standing before me. Aaron Blackford, the man whose main occupation was making my blood boil, had just offered himself to be my date, right after inserting his nose in my business, calling me delusional and calling himself my best option. See, outrageous, aggravating, blood boiling, and much to my total despair, also right. Which left me with a surly and extra large dilemma in my hands. Was it worth the suffering to bring my colleague and bane of my existence as my fake boyfriend to my sister's wedding, or was I better off coming clean and facing the consequences of my panic-induced lie? Like my Beulah would say, que Dios nos pele confesados. I really enjoyed this book when I first read it, and I would love to reread again. And so yeah, this one is okay. So next book in this is also the second book from this one, which is the story of Catalina's friend Rosie Graham and Catalina's cousin Lucas. This is actually not a fake dating, but it's kind of experimental dates where Lucas teach Rosie how to talk to a guy and behave with a guy and something like this. So this is the American Roommate Experiment from Alina Armas. The second book from the first is Spanish Love Deception and the second one is the American Roommate Experiment. So Rosie Graham has a problem, a few actually. First, she quit her well-paid job to focus on her secret career as a romance writer, only to enter creative slump. Then the ceiling of her New York apartment falls in. To make matters worse, when she heads to her best friend's apartment, she finds that Lena has already lent the studio to her cousin Lucas, who Rosie has been, for lack of a better word, stalking on Instagram. When Lucas suggests that they share the small space, Rosie discovers that he strolls around the place in a towel, has a distracting grin and irresistible accent, and cooks meals that are just as tempting. Then he learns about Rosie's writer's block and proposes an outrageous idea. He will take her on a series of experimental dates to reignite her literary muse. This shouldn't be a problem because Luca's stay in New York also has a deadline, but she might find it hard to write now. The research is so much more fun. So, okay, so the next book in the recommendations is we have The Deal by Al Kennedy. This is also a fake dating romance. So this is also book one in off-campus book series. So we have Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham, of course, the Garrett Graham. So she's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has finally found someone who turns her on. But while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to dash and dash. If she wants to get her crush attention, she will have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And it's going to be so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he has worked so hard for. If he is helping a sarcastic brunette making another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team, he is all for it. But when an unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just have to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. So yeah, this is between Hannah and Garrett, where Garrett wants to score good marks, so he's getting help from Hannah, and Hannah wants to get the attention of her crush, so she's getting help from Garrett, and they both are fake dating to achieve both of their goals. So the deal we have. Okay, so the next book we have is Hopeless by Elsie Silver, and this is the fifth book in the series Chestnut Spring by Elsie Silver, and this is between Beau and Bailey. So, Beau Eaton is the town prince, a handsome military hero with a tortured past. I am the outcast bartender, a shy girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He is 35 and all man, I am 22 and all virgin. He is also my fiance, correction, my fake fiance. He is 35 and all man, sorry, we start out as the bat. He doesn't believe that anyone holds my last name against me, so he offers his to prove a point. It's a win-win. He gets a break from his concerned family's prying, and I get a chance to shed my family's reputation. He says all I have to do is wear his ring, follow his lead, and pretend I can't keep my hands off him in public. But it's what happens between us in private that blurs all those carefully drawn lines. It's what transpires between closed doors that doesn't feel like pretending at all. This engagement was supposed to be for show. This agreement, it has an end date. He once told me he would never fall in love, and yet here I am head over heels for my fake fiance. So this is basically a fake fiance romance where Bailey is from a very toxic family and those doesn't have good reputation in the town, and Beau has been a soldier, an ex-soldier. He went to a mission and came back so silent and broody type, and he was not like that at all. So this is a story between these two. The next one we have is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is between Olive Dors and Ethan. So Olive's sister is getting married to Ethan's brother, but on the wedding day all the people gets food poisoning except so Olive and Ethan doesn't get food poisoning, but everyone along with guests, everyone gets food poisoning. So the honeymoon which was planned for her sister and her husband, they didn't get to go there, but Olive and Ethan gets to get there. But because of a simple lie, Olive told to her boss, I guess, that she is with her boyfriend or husband, I guess. They pretend to be in a relationship, and all the whole book is about how they gets to fake date and enjoy and because of the expensive honeymoon they had to fake date each other, and there was a plot twist in the end, but it was not so suspenseful, and it was a hilarious, just funny, cute vacation read for me. Yeah. Next book we have is The Love Hypothesis, and it was a really good book by Lee Hazelwood, but I just love all the books written by Ali Hazelwood. I have told this in my previous video also, and I was thinking of making a different video of all Ali Hazelwood books separately. But yep, this was the first ever book I have read by this author, and I really loved this book too. I actually loved all the books, but I really enjoyed, and you know, I was so obsessed with this book. I gave it 11 out of 10 stars. So this was a fake relationship between Olive Smith and Adam Carlson. Adam Carlson was the professor where Olive was a student, I guess. She was doing her research, but Adam was from a different section, so they are not direct professor and student. But to prove to her best friend that she is also in a relationship, so she can date Olive's ex because they have more chemistry, she kisses someone in the hallway, and that someone is coincidentally Adam Carlson. So yes, this is their story. They both fake dates, and when a fake relationship between scientists meet the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing and that Olive is on her way to a happily ever after was always going to be tough. Scientist requires proof, so like any self-respecting woman, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known as, which is why Olive is positively floored when he agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. But when a big science conference goes haywire and Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and his unyielding abs, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion. Olive soon discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. This book is so good and so beautiful, and how Adam cares for Olive, I really love that. Because I have seen some one thing in Ali Hazelwood books is that the MMC is always it's always been you trope in all her books, and I really love that because they care for their lead heroines so much, so beautifully, that we just fall in love. We can't help but loving them so much. So yeah. Okay, so the next book we have is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. First of all, see the cover of this book. If you can see this, this is so beautiful. I really like this cover. And this book is between Jess and Dr. River Penna, Dr. River and Jess. So Dr. River is working on an app which tells us about our soulmate, and that whoever this app selects is our soulmate, made for us and made for each other, like that. So when Dr. River and Jess gets 100% result on this app, they goes to fake date so that they can prove that yes, this app works and this is a good app, and whatever it is. So yes, Jess Davis is a numerous genius, but when it comes to love, she has had to accept there is no magic formula. Juggling a career with raising her daughter, it's not surprising that her love life is non-existent. When yet another date ends in disaster, she is prepared to give up on love for good. But then she hears about Genetically, a busy new matchmaking company that claims to find you the one using a DNA equation. So yeah, they use a DNA equation to find you your soulmate. If only this thing exists in real life. Suddenly, love doesn't seem quite so far out of reach. But just imagine if something like this exists in real life. Until her test shows an unheard of 98% compatibility with Genetically's founder, Dr. River Penna. Jess already knows Dr. Penna, and this man is 100% not her soulmate. Yet as the pair are dragged from one event to the next as the ultimate diamond pairing that could make Genetically a fortune, Jess begins to realize that there might be more to the scientist and to the science behind a soulmate. Okay, so the next book we have is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Yes. So this is actually also reverse grumpy, and this is between Stella Lane. She's an economist, and Michelle, Michael. Yeah. So it's high time for Stella Lane to settle down and find a husband. So her mother tells her, also her mother tells her, this is no easy task for a wealthy, successful woman like Stella, who also happens to have Asperger's. Analyzing data is easy, handling the awkwardness of one-on-one dates is hard. To overcome her lack of dating experience, Stella decides to hire a male escort to teach her how to be a good girlfriend. Faced with mounting bills, Michael decided to use his good looks and charm to make extra cash on the side. He has a very firm no repeat customer policy, but he is tempted to bend that rule when Stella approaches him with an unconventional proposal. The more time they spend together, the harder Michael falls for his disarming woman with a beautiful mind, and Stella discovers that love defies logic. One thing I've noticed in Helen Huang books is the like one of the character, the main character lead, has Asperger's. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, The Kiss Quotient, and how Michael treats Stella so delicately and so beautifully, and how innocent Stella is. So yep, that's it. And the last book we have for this video is one of my favorite books, and I really love this book. I know I am saying this for every book, but this is like top 10 of my books. I just wish that I can read it for the first time again and get that experience. So this is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I know many of you have actually heard and read about this book, but we have Stella Alonso and Christian Harper. I just love that man. It's just, he is so hot. So when Stella gets, okay, so I will just let you read this. Charming, deadly, and smart enough to hide it, Christian Harper is a monster dressed in the perfectly tailored suits of a gentleman. He has little use for morals and even less use for love. But he can't deny the strange pull he feels towards the woman living just one floor beneath his. She is the object of his darkest desires, the only puzzle he can't solve. And when the opportunity to get closer to her arises, he breaks his own rules to offer her a deal she can't refuse. Every monster has their weakness. She is his obsession, his addiction, his only exception. Sweet and shy and introverted despite her social media fame, Stella Alonso is a romantic who keeps her heart in a cage. Between her two jobs, she has little time for or desire for a relationship. But when a threat from her past drives her into the arms and house of the most dangerous man she has ever met, she is tempted to let herself feel something for the first time in a long time. Because despite Christian's cold nature, he makes her feel everything when she's with him. Passionate, protected, truly wanted. There is a love twisted with secrets and tainted by lies, and when the truths are finally revealed, they could shatter everything. Twisted Lights by Anna Huang. Actually, I really love this book because Christian maybe have a tough out outer, what can we say, exterior, a tough exterior looking man, but for Stella he is such a soft teddy bear. He does things for her only a girl can imagine and wish to be done. So yeah, and the last book in the series. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, do subscribe and give a like, and please comment down below what you thought and what I can improve in the next one, and generally what are your thoughts and anything you want to comment, just nice things. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.